Jimmy's asked me to sit up here with him and help him tell his story. It's a great story. I love Jimmy. He has been coming to New Heritage for 10 years. Yep. About 10 years ago, he showed up at a Thanksgiving turkey handout. And we were handing out turkeys to people, and Jimmy got one, and he's been coming to church ever since.
I wasn't raised in a church family. I didn't have a lot of love in our house. In fact, I hadn't heard "love you" in my family forever. No hugs and kisses. I think the first time I remember going to a church was when I was in the first or second grade. We lived in East Texas and went to a little Baptist church. And
your grandmother took you?
No, that's back before my grandma's time. And then after we moved from there, that was back in the early to mid '60s. And then we moved to Sulphur Springs, and I went to church a few times with my grandmother, and that was probably the later part of the '60s.
What church did she take you to?
She took me to a Baptist church, and I went to summer camp with the kids there a couple of times, and there's still no love in my family. I spent most of my time then staying with my grandmother and grandpa. I know how to grow gardens. Grandpa taught me good. I could have a mule pull a plow. Not too many people know how to do that.
You plowed with a mule?
Yeah.
Did you folks know that you're talking to two people in this world who have plowed with mules?
Later part of the '60s, we went to my dad. He was an alcoholic. He quit drinking, quit smoking. Then we got into a church of the Nazarene, and we went there in my early teens. Up until the time he passed away in I think it was 72, 73, somewhere around in there. After he passed away, it had to be 73 or 70, somewhere around there. Anyway, after he passed away, I went in the military at the age of 17.
Well, tell me about the Nazarene church that you were talking about. You said a few things about it in the kitchen this morning.
Yeah, it was, I don't know if they still are, but back then, they were pretty strict. You didn't go to the movies. You didn't go out dancing. Kids at that time, their weekends were at drive-in movies. Nazarene people that didn't believe in that.
It wasn't just R-rated or
no, just
any movies.
Period. You watch TV at home, but you didn't go out to the movies. I don't understand that, but that's the way they did it, so it's the way we did it.
Pretty strict in other areas as well, or?
Yeah, I'm not too remembering on all of it. We went there. I know at least a couple of years before my father passed away. Then after he passed away, somehow or another, there's a story floating around that they blamed my mother for my dad's passing. Okay, we didn't go to church after there.
People in the church blamed.
Yeah, some of the church people blamed her for his passing, which I don't think so. He had a heart attack, double pneumonia, and his walking deathbed for the last 3 years of his life.
But he had quit drinking?
Yeah, he quit drinking, laid his cigarettes up on his nightstand. They after he passed away, I moved to Dallas, and I wasn't as bright in school as a lot of kids are. I quit learning probably in the 6th grade. By the time I hit junior high and high school, I was working, milking cows, hauling hay, working in the service station, grocery stores. That was my main thing to do. I got more pleasure out of that than I did going to school because I couldn't learn. It was all above my head. Wish I'd go back and change it over, but no. I had no education. So anyway, whenever I went in the military in 75, that was the year before they changed the law. You got to have a high school diploma to get in now. Whenever I went in, they didn't care who you were. You sign your name, and my mama co-signed for me to get in because I was, like I said, 17 years old. That was a good experience. I've seen a lot of the country, a lot of the world that I probably never seen. A lot of people never will get to see. Then,
This was the Army?
I'm sorry?
This was the Army?
No, I was in the Marine Corps.
The Marine Corps?
Yeah. In 1976, me and my wife got married on January 3rd, 3 days before I went overseas for a year. Great honeymoon. For me, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. How old was she?
She was 15. When we married January 3rd, it'll be 42 years.
Still
Probably,
married?
Still married, same woman. Probably been married longer than most people out here have been around. I'm count myself lucky because she kept me out of a lot of trouble. Although I did fall down the wrong track for years, doing God knows what all. Never to go to jail for none of it, but count that one up too, because knock on wood. She grew up with her mother, and her mother, she went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday with her mom. When we got married, and I started going with them, we kind of clashed there for a while because she told me I was getting too much church too fast. I've never heard that put that away, but I guess so. I let her win. But, we've got we've got all grown kids now, waiting on a grandson that should have been here last week. But wasn't in the churches up to the point that, like Steve said, when we came to a parenting class over at the old building, over at this warehouse. That's how I found out this was a church. And we came to the Thanksgiving basket, and like I said, you hadn't got rid of me since. I can't get my wife and daughter, my oldest daughter and her husband and kids came a couple of times, and they seen how well I clicked with the household here. I feel like y'all are more of a family to me than my own family. Anyway, they, don't like it when Jimmy meets people that are not overriding me or lead me down the wrong path. They didn't like that either, but because I like it so much here, they think that I come here and act one way, when I go home I act a different way. I might, a little bit, I don't know.
What you said you clicked with this bunch. What?
No, everybody, nobody looked down on you. Great bunch of people, all the time, all the hugs you can get. I wasn't raised that way. I didn't raise my kids that way because I didn't know about it. I try to get along with them better now than I did in the earlier years. Which I'm glad y'all are here. I'm glad y'all accepted me as who I am, knowing my faults, and the Lord knows I got plenty of them.
Do you feel accepted?
Yes, I do. I wish we'd had church 7 days a week here. At least 3 days a week. I know that, sometimes that can't happen, but, I look forward for Sundays. That's one day of the week that I can get up and I can enjoy myself, get away from the house. It keeps me stressed out so much over one thing or another, and have a great church family. There's a lot of stuff I've told y'all that I've never told nobody else. Like I said, I grew up, well, I didn't grow up doing it, but after I got out of the military, I got heavy into drugs and alcohol. Every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for, God, over 25 years, probably close to 30. That's what I lived my life for.
And how long has it been since you quit?
I ain't gonna say. Well, it's been
Or started the process of quitting?
so about 18, 19 years that I've not been doing it on a regular basis. Now, that don't mean I haven't done it, because I still slip up. If I get around the wrong person, if I, there for a while, a couple of years ago, I was going to stay with my brother in Kilgore, and the first time we went down there, I know he's doing the drugs and stuff. I stayed away from it for a little while. And, I can't do that. If I'm around somebody doing drugs and all that, it won't take long. I'll be right back with them. So, I don't go visit my brother no more. I've got 2 sisters I don't go visit for the same reason. That's one thing that hard to walk away from, but it's easier than walking away from cigarettes, believe it or not. Like I said, I still mess up every now and again, not like I used to. If I'm not around people, I'm not going to do it. But, if I'm around somebody and I know that's what they're doing, I'll be right back with them. You see these advertisements on TV, go to this rehab center, and I've been clean for 10 years, and, that's baloney. Straight up, that is baloney. Once an addict, you're always an addict. You might be away from it. You may not be doing it, but if you hang out with the people, you're going to be right down there with them again. I guarantee you.
Influences were a big part of that. People
Oh,
you're
yeah,
hanging out with.
it is. Although I did a lot of my partying, so-called partying, by myself, I'd rather been alone doing it than around a lot of people. Had more stuff to party with. Didn't have to share. Yeah. But yeah, it's a struggle you go through every day.
I think trust is works both ways.
I've told y'all stuff that when I was in rehab, I didn't tell my counselors. When I was in rehab, they want to give you a book learning counseling. And I told them, I said, man, if you study out a book, you've never done the stuff, you can't teach me nothing. I need somebody that's been down the road I've been down, and they know what I'm feeling, and I get more out of it. And so I had a counselor that actually was a drug addict at one time. And me and her got along, 2 peas in a pod.
Billy, how long has it been since Jimmy has been working for your company?
Going on 4 years.
Is that 4 years?
March will be 4 years.
Yeah. I expected that job to last 3 weeks. It's been how long?
March will be right at 4 years.
4 years. And I've seen some significant changes in Jimmy in those 4 years, and he's pretty dedicated about his job. It ain't a fun job. It's a very hard job, but he doesn't go to sleep. He stays alert. He does the job. He deals with some ornery people in that job, and from the stories I'm hearing, he holds really true to that. So I really appreciate that consistency over the last 4 years.
Okay, thank you.
That's shown me a lot.
Yeah, I've got to work tonight from 8 tonight to 8 tomorrow morning. I've heard of them, supervisors coming out on jobs and checking on their employees, and they find guards asleep in their car or whatever. I never could do that. No, you're not doing your job. I listen to the Bible on my phone at night, so it keeps me with company, probably the best company I've ever been around. All this technology, Y2, U2, computer stuff, that's way out of my league. I keep telling everybody, and I've known this since probably back when I was in junior high, man, I'd have been better off if I was born back in the 1800s. I can live off the land, I can live like that. I have lived like that. I used to drink, water out of the stock pond, where the cows and stuff drank. I've never been sick.
That's probably why you never been sick. He drank that.
You know,
Probably a good thing.
I get a cold once or twice a year, every couple of years. Other than that, my body's wearing out. Telling me that, man, you got to slow down. Yeah, I just love this place. I wouldn't have it any different. You know, whether my family likes me coming here or not, that's their problem. I do what I can. I tell y'all like I tell them. I take a bullet for each and every one of y'all. If it come to it, I'd take a bullet for you. I would for, same with my real family, but y'all just make me feel so much at home here.
I think he means that, ladies and gentlemen. I think he absolutely would.
Well, my wife tells me, you don't have to go to church to go to heaven. I agree with that. Church is right here, wherever you're at home, out on the baseball field, football field, soccer field with kids. I got to have church. I got to be around people. And I didn't used to be that way. I was a loner forever. I'd go out and party alone.
You realize what she said? She said, "You're Jesus in your home." You understand that? You're the light. When you go home, you're Jesus. You understand what she said?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
You understand what she said?
I'm hearing it, but maybe a little small part.
You remember that little small part.
Huh?
He says you don't have enough hair to be Jesus.
There you go.